What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. So let's talk about Georgia, Ohio State. What a thriller that was. In Ohio State, like Ryan Day said, they came out swinging 21-7. Marvin Harrison Jr. was involved, and he was a matchup problem. They did put Ringo on him a little bit, and he beat Ringo. The one play in the end zone that he dropped, it wasn't a great throw, but Stroud. Credit the Ohio State's offensive line was giving Stroud a lot of clean pockets, and Stroud was sharp from the beginning, and he was sharp throughout the game, and this had the feel like Ohio State was just going to win this game, but Georgia with the late surge there at the end, and Stetson Bennett, credit him, and they ended up kicking that field goal. Later in that game, ended up being huge, and it was A.D. Mitchell. Like most people thought, the X factor in this game. He made plays early, and then he had that touchdown late. Brock Bowers had that huge first down that helped sustain that drive, and Georgia just looking their resiliency was looking, they looked very much so like the reigning national title or reigning national champions who are hungry to repeat, and they're going to get that opportunity to do so Monday. And Stetson Bennett, what a great story! Former mailman, walk on, stint in junior college. Just a incredible effort and a will to lead Georgia to a chance at multiple national champions and maybe be the best quarterback in Georgia history as far as accomplishments go. So credit Georgia, credit Stetson Bennett, credit Kirby Smart. That timeout was critical on that punt play. Ohio State would have gotten that first down in that fake punt, but Georgia, credit them late. Ohio State. I said on that drive, Ohio State should have just been playing for a touchdown. They got to on that run by C.J. Stroud, they got in field goal range, and then Georgia really hunkered down. They ended up losing a yard and pushed the field goal back to, what was it, like 49, 50 yards. But I think initially Stroud got them where it would have been like a 48, 49-yard field goal. But credit Georgia. Ringo had a pass breakup. And they blitzed, who was it? The linebackers, Munden and Dumas Johnson were getting pressure on him, and they did a nice job. Georgia was getting banged up all night, and the loss of Darnell Washington in that game was pretty big. Likewise for Ohio State, losing Cade Stover and Marvin Harrison was big, but Georgia gets it done. 42-41, and they will play TCU January 9th for the national title. It looks like Georgia will be double-digit point favorites in that game. That should be interesting. We'll see if TCU can build off of that win against Michigan, and we'll see if they can shock another team and get a win against Georgia, and we'll see if Georgia can repeat as national champions in now 2022, 2023. But it's kind of fitting that game ended right at midnight, and Georgia comes out with a victory in the Sugar Bowl, TCU with a victory in the Fiesta Bowl, and Alabama coming out victorious today in the Sugar Bowl. So, that's all I wanted to touch on. I was just so happy that Ohio State, Georgia was a thriller. Michigan, TCU was a good game, but being a Michigan fan, it's a little depressing that they didn't come out with a W in that one. But Michigan returns a lot of guys, so the future does look pretty bright as far as next year is concerned. So we'll see. And then with Alabama, it'll be interesting who comes back. Bryce Young gone, played his last game. But, Brian Branch, a guy that could come back. Jordan Battle, I think, is a guy that has, some eligibility. So Alabama could return some guys. You saw Isaiah Bond and some of their young players step up in the game and make some plays. So we'll see. A lot of these teams will be right in the discussion as far as national title is concerned next year, along with USC should be in the mix, maybe Clemson. So we'll wrap with that. Thanks so much for tuning in this episode of Big Time Football Talk. Make sure to stay tuned for more episodes and clips from the show. Till next time, peace.